So how to ignite your work performance, 7 powerful health pillars to empower your success, right? So as you already know, in today's modern, fast-paced world, it kind of goes against how we're designed as human beings, right? So maximizing work performance is essential to achieve success, but it also has to be balanced with your DNA, right? Your background. So this article or this podcast, or however you're taking this in, will delve into the 7 crucial health factors that, when optimized, can significantly increase your productivity and your efficiency, right? So we'll focus on 7 health factors, and then you'll be well on your way to 1, being healthier, and 2, to being more productive. So the first one is sound sleep, right? Get your sleep right. Now the foundation, which is the foundation ultimately for peak performance, right? Good night's sleep is the cornerstone of optimal brain function and to unleash your inner giant, right? Let's say. So ultimately what you want to do is you want to aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep per night, depending on lots of different factors, but that's on average what adults should sleep, right? What you want is you want to maintain a consistent sleep schedule, and you want to create a bedtime routine to help your body actually wind down to be able to get into sleep. Right, so prioritizing sleep is super important to provide your mind and also your body, but ultimately this is about your mind, with the rest it needs to operate at peak performance and light the fire within you to crush the day, right? Because going into the day and feeling like shit and being tired will ultimately not get you to where you want to get to in terms of your drive, your energy. The second one is obviously eat a nutritious and balanced diet, right? This is ultimately what you're doing, you're fueling for success, right? You've got the rest ultimately for your success, which is the sleep, and then also you've got the fueling for success. Now your diet plays a vital role in providing the energy and the nutrients needed for optimal work performance, right? And ultimately all you need to do is maintain a nutritionally dense diet, right? This will keep your energy levels peaked throughout the day. And by eating well and eating a diet that actually suits you and suits your body, because we're all a little bit different in what works for us, you'll ultimately ensure that your body and your mind are linked and that they work together and that you're fueled to achieve your goals and fueled for success and performance. Right, the third one is stay hydrated, right? Which is a key to improve concentration. Right now, dehydration can lead to things like fatigue, poor concentration, and reduced cognitive abilities. So ultimately what you want to do is you want to keep a water bottle at your workspace that you can sip on throughout the day, and you want to average about 8 glasses a day, right? If you're not exercising, if it's hot, obviously more, but that's generally sort of the at least the minimum. And if you have the water bottle next to you, or you have your drink next to you, you'll automatically find yourself sipping throughout the day, and you won't have that issue with forgetting to drink and thinking you're hungry, which is what a lot of people actually encounter throughout the day. The next one is prioritizing physical activity, right? This will do lots of things: enhance your mood, your energy, your mental sharpness, right? Regular exercise is honestly a secret weapon when it comes to productivity and just, mental sharpness as a whole. So what you want to do at a minimum is aim for 30 minutes of moderate exercise per day. That can be walking, that can be jogging, that can be cycling, whatever you want it to be, right? And instead of hiding behind the elevator and doing that kind of thing, is walk up the stairs, right? Schedule breaks during your workday to get up, stretch, move around, pretend to go to the bathroom, pretend to go to the bathroom if you really need to, get a drink, and ensure that your body remains active and engaged, because if your body remains active and engaged, so will your mind. Right, manage stress is the next one. Now, this is the path to ultimately sustainable productivity, because we can all dive into tunnel vision and focus on a specific goal for weeks on end and sacrifice everything else in life, but ultimately what that'll lead to is burnout. Right, so what you need to incorporate some stress conquering techniques, such as deep breathing, meditation, yoga, anything that works for you, that allows you to bring down those stress levels, those cortisol levels in the evening, and at the right times of the day, so that you're not constantly firing in a sort of fight or flight mode, and ultimately lead yourself into a place where you screw yourself, and then you don't achieve what you want to achieve, or you have to take time off because you've essentially broken yourself, right? I've done that myself. It's not a good place to be, and lots of people do it all the time without realizing, right? A lot of people are in a high stress mode a lot of the day, and they don't actually realize they are. So take breaks, connect with people in your work, with your family, with your friends, and ultimately that's your base, right? To maintain a healthy work-life balance and prevent stress from ultimately crushing you and forcing you to take a break. Right, that break ideally is something you want to choose. It's not something that you want to be sent into by your body going, okay, time out, you're done now for the next month or next 2 weeks or however long it takes you to recover. Right, the next point is creating a comfortable workspace. That's ultimately setting the stage for success. Now, why is this important? Right, you want a clutter-free, ergonomic workspace that can help reduce physical strain on your body and obviously boost productivity. Because it's very easy to have a workspace that's not great and move yourself in a direction where you ultimately cause yourself to get injured without realizing that it's your actual work that's made you injured. Right? So people do that by sitting in terrible positions for the vast majority of the day. Then they go out, they do something small, like play with their kids or pick something off the ground, throw out their back, and they think, oh, it's because I picked up a shoe off the ground. That's not the actual cause of your back pain, right? That was the straw essentially that broke the camel's back. But what led down that path was the way that you sit in work and the way that you spend your life crouched over, right? So it's important that this is an actual thing that you focus on. If you really want to power up and you have the funds or your business allows you to do this kind of thing, you can get something like a standing desk that can be moved up and down. So sometimes you can sit, sometimes you can stand. And ideally you want to be by a window, right? If you want, you can add things like plants and have a more pleasant, inspiring environment that allows you to focus and builds that inner fire and that efficiency. You don't want distractions, right? You don't want things lying all over the place that take your mind in all sorts of different directions. Now the final one is managing screen time. So that means protecting your eyes and protecting your sleep. Right? Too much screen time, obviously, as you might have already noticed, can lead to things like eye strain and poor sleep. So what you need is to set boundaries for your work and for your phone, social media use, Netflix use, that kind of stuff. So that's on one side of the thing, right? That's what influences your sleep and your eye health. But also what you want regular breaks, and what you can use is you can practice something called the 20-20-20 method, which is ultimately every 20 minutes of work, you look at something 20 feet or more away. This is why it's good to be by a window, or one of the reasons why it's good to be by a window, for 20 seconds. Which ultimately will help you maintain eye health and not go down the route where you have the vision of a 90-year-old at the age of 40, right? So manage your screen time and protect your eyes to ensure that you get better sleep, right? So ultimately, to recap everything, if you optimize your body and you master your mind, you can ultimately lead it to a highly productive and successful work life, right? But to actually do that, you need to take on the 7 health factors we mentioned, and you'll be well on your way to boosting your performance and achieving your goals and achieving the things that you want to achieve. Now, quick recap of the 7 things, and to make them easier to remember, I've renamed them a little bit, right? Sound sleep, number 1. Energizing food, number 2. Hydrate heroically, right? Number 3. Pursue powerful physicality, number 4. Subdue stress, number 5. Craft a comfortable workspace, number 6. And tame technology, right? Number 7. Just to give you a quick idea of what I've done recently on the tame technology front, we spend way too much time on our phone a lot of the time. Right now, you probably, just like everyone else, can see how much time you spend on your phone, or your phone every week sends you a quick recap of your digital well-being, right? It's called A Lot of the Time. Now, most people spend way more than 3 hours a day. Now, if they spent those 3 hours doing something else, whatever, it could be spending time with family, it could be learning something, it could just be relaxing, they would probably have a much better life. But anyway, there's no denying that there are actual real pros to things like phones, social media, that kind of stuff. So, what have I done? My goal was to get, or is still to get, my phone use on average per week to less than 1 hour per day. Because it used to be around 3 point something, or maybe higher sometimes. So last week it was 1 hour and 32 minutes. Then, actually the week before last, it was 1 hour and 32 minutes. Last week is 1 hour and 11 minutes. So this week the goal will be to get it to 1 hour. And that's a very simple way for me to have way more time in the day, but actually still use my phone for the things that it's useful for, which is posting stuff every now and again, replying to people on WhatsApp or to messages every now and again. But I can also do that from my computer when I need to. But in the evening, ultimately what that means is I find other stuff to do, right? I can play the ukulele if I want. I can spend time with family. I can read. But there's lots of things I can do that are better for me ultimately, and that allow me to tame technology to feel much better the next day, and ultimately go into the next day feeling great and to crush the day, right? So this adds up over time. Now for you, this will probably mean something else, but those are the 7 health factors, and if some of them are already good and some of them aren't, at least you know what to focus on. But grab something, one of those today, and start focusing on that and move yourself in a good direction on that side of things.